Good morning. Your question for Dr. Tripp, please.
All right. I would like to ask Dr. Tripp. I just feel sex is overstated today. You go into a bookstore, there's books staring in your face about sex. You go to turn television on, there's a sex analyst, a sex researcher. Why does everyone want to go into someone else's home or interview people and ask them about all these things they're doing? Are they doing it right?
Well,
I've been married 39 years, and I'm still the same man, and we have the same feelings today we did then. And I didn't have anyone tell me what to do.
I think the answer to your basic question is that people are interested in sex because that's where they frequently find frustrations, and and not just sexual frustrations, but emotional ones. It's quite a shock to fall in love with somebody and then have then watch the ice cream cone melt, so to speak. I don't want to be rude to you, but frankly, I do not believe that there are people who get married and stay married for 39 years. Nothing changes. It stays absolutely marvelous. They require no information, no coaching, and no care, and the ice cream cone never melts.
Well, it did with us.
Are we to believe that? That's the central fiction. We have to be careful about that posture.
What you're saying, though, to this caller, she's telling you that she's had 39 happy years, and wait a minute, and in their opinion, it is the same, and you're saying that it...
Oh, well, let me give you a technical answer to it.
Or that it's better, yes.
So let me just carry that a step further. We all like relationships. We know what everybody wants. They would like a sense of ongoingness. They would like some sexual vividness. They would like some delicacy. And they'd like monogamy. Most people would like these four things. You can have any three of them, but you can't have them all. You can have monogamy and all the other things, but you can't then have the delicacy. If you're willing to give up the delicacy and you settle for a coarser relationship between partners, you can have 39 or 49 or 79 years of this.
Yet you told us earlier in the show that that a year into it, or even 6 months into it, that
was high romance. High romance is another thing entirely.
I'm going back to high romance. That zip, which apparently is still in her...
Oh, no, she didn't say that they were in high romance.
She said it's better than it was 39 years ago.
But I've often heard true love, once true love is established, that it's better than high romance, because high romance is sort of
yes, many people
euphoric.
Prefer it because it's more stable.
Yeah.
It runs you around the block less rapidly and nervously. Who wants to be on that adolescent kick, as some people call it later? They much prefer a kind of ongoing, pleasant, intimate, comfortable relationship rather than all that nervousness.
Okay.
Good morning. Your question for Dr. Tripp.
Hi, good morning. I'd like to comment that I really do agree with what this gentleman is saying, because I have been married for 7 years, and I find that the first couple of years we were married, everything was A-OK, but now we're starting to understand each other more, and we're being very nice to each other, and we both have 2 different jobs that are completely in 2 different fields, and I really try to understand him, and we're very compatible. We understand each other's needs and everything. But as far as the bedroom, it's kind of zip. Now, what I'd like to do is try to get back to the way we were, but I don't want to lose the compatibility. I know someone has already commented on this, but I just would like to add that I really do agree with you, and I'd like to, have some of your ideas.
Oh, and you put it so nicely, too. There is a way to increase that bedroom voltage without paying for it in the nice thing that you have in the living room. But in order to do that, it will be necessary for you to increase the distance in little ways for short periods of time, to perhaps comment to each other, perhaps by agreement, on other partners that you find attractive, or you were walking down the street today and you saw a beautiful person or whatever. You insert distance back in there and some level of surprise. I don't think Maribel Morgan should be put down either. What was the name of her book? I think it was Total Woman or something.
Total Woman.
Mm-hmm. It's very easy to laugh at, but it has a lot of truths of some profundity, if you'd care to look at it.
Thank you very much for your call. Good morning. You're on Channel 13's People Are Talking.
Yes, I'd like to ask the doctor. My husband and I, we live together, and in our work, we work together all day long. How do you, get any distance in your relationship?
It's a very good question, and it's very difficult. I don't know what your experience is, but most people who live together and work together have a special problem of fatigue and of all kinds of intrusions from just being tired of the constant contact. There's no place in nature where that really happens spontaneously. Partners don't stay together, don't live in each other's shoes, so to speak. It's very, very difficult. It would be much to your advantage if you could find ways to breathe some kind of distance and variety into your relationship.
Okay, thank you very much for your call. That does sound like a very difficult thing to do. It's easy to say, but I just can't imagine how you actually do that.
It's like Gibran says in his excerpt on marriage, that you eat the same bread but not from the same loaf. Read that? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Good morning. You're on Channel 13's People Are Talking.
Yes, sir, I'd like to ask the doctor a question. There was a period, I've been married since I was 15, and that's 7 years. There was a period in my preteen years of incest in our family, and ever since then it's been causing problems, with my relationship towards my husband.
You mean in
Is there
your
anything
own...
that I could do about that?
You mean problems in your own attitudes? Yes, that's not the kind of thing that we can really handle over the air on a public microphone, but I would like to do one thing about that and get you to not be too quick in believing the literature that you may have read. You may have read all kinds of literature that says, well, if you have any kind of early traumatic sexual experience, especially if it's incestuous, then this will mark you for life. It doesn't necessarily do that. It's very disturbing to some people and not to others.
Okay, thank you.
Perhaps if you look it over and understand some of the context in which it occurred, it'll help you make a distance between your relationship now and what you may have had in the past.
Thank you very much for your call, and thank all of you for your calls. You're a big help, I think that you really were, and we'd like to thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Good.
And although we smiled, it is a serious subject, and
We're allowed to smile sometimes.
we did, and the saran wrap just tickled me. It just tickled me, and maybe someday that will actually happen in my marriage. And we'll talk to you when you come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tripp.